Did you know that in Canada, the cost of a 4-year university degree can easily top $100,000 when you factor in tuition, the books, and living expenses? And that's before inflation kicks in. What if I told you that there's a government-backed way to save for your children's education that not only grows your money tax-free, but also gives you free cash from Ottawa to boost those savings? Welcome to Wise Economy, your go-to channel for clear, practical advice on personal finance and building businesses right here in Canada. I'm Chandeep, your host and guide, here to empower you with the knowledge to make smarter money moves. Today, we are diving deep into the Registered Education Savings Plan, or RESP for short. This is a powerful tool many Canadian families use to prepare for their kids' future without breaking the bank. If you're curious about other saving options like the RRSPs, TFSAs, permanent life insurance for kids, check out the other videos on our channel. Stick around because by the end, you will have a step-by-step plan to start or optimize your own RESP account. Now let's get into it. I often hear from our clients, the busy parents in cities like Toronto, Vancouver, who worry about the rising education costs. They share their pain points like, how can I save enough when everyday expenses are so high? Or what if my child doesn't go to school? We hear you. These are the real concerns, especially for newcomers to Canada who might not know about the government grants, but with the right approach and right guidance, an RESP can ease those worries and set your family up for success. So around this point, you might be thinking, that sounds good, but what's the catch? Stay with me because in a later chapter, I will reveal a key insight that could add thousands to your savings, something most Canadians overlook entirely. Let's start at the foundation, like the first chapter in a good book on personal finance. An RESP is a special savings account designed by the Canadian government to help families save for a children's post-secondary education. Post-secondary means anything like university, college, trade school, anything after high school. Here's how it works in simple terms. You open the account for a child, they are known as the beneficiary. You can be the parent, grandparent, or even a family friend who sets it up. You are known as the subscriber. Then you put money in, and that money grows without paying taxes on the growth until it's withdrawn for school. The best part, the government adds extra money through grants like the Canadian Education Savings Grant, or CESG. For every dollar you contribute up to a certain amount, Ottawa, the federal government, matches 20%. That's free money. For example, if you put in $2,500 in a year, you could get $500 from the government. There are lifetime limits as well. You can contribute up to $50,000 per child over time, and the maximum CESG, the grant, is $7,200 per child. Why does this matter? Education costs are climbing. In provinces like Ontario, British Columbia, tuition alone can be $8,000 to $10,000 per year for a domestic student. Add rent, food, books, it's a big number. And RESP helps you build a fund in a steady way so you're not scrambling later on. It's like planting a tree today provides shade for your child's future. Think of it this way. Without an RESP, saving in a regular bank account means your interest gets taxed every year, eating into the growth due to the inflation. But in an RESP, everything compounds tax-free until the withdrawal. And withdrawals for education, the growth portion is taxed in the student's hand, who usually has low income, so little to no tax. Now let's zoom out to see how RESPs fits into the bigger picture in Canada. Our country has a unique mix of federal and provincial supports, making it easier for families from coast to coast. Federally, besides the CESG, there's the Canadian Learning Bond for lower income families up to $2,000 per child without you even needing to contribute first. Provinces add their own twists, like in Quebec, there is the Quebec Education Savings Incentive, matching up to 10% more. In British Columbia, offers a one-time grant for kids born after 2005. But the landscape isn't all smooth. Inflation is a quiet thief. In 2025, costs are up about 3 to 4% from last year. In cities like Calgary, Montreal, Vancouver, Toronto, where many newcomers settle, housing and living expenses compete with savings goals. I talk to clients who say, Jashandeep, I'm paying high rent in Vancouver, in Surrey. How do I prioritize RESP contributions? The key is starting small but consistent. Canada's financial system, whether it's banking or the private institutions, makes it easy to open RESPs. You can open one at one of the major banks or through investment firms. Inside, you can hold safe options like GICs, or you can invest in mutual funds or segregated funds. But remember one rule: we always assume the conservative growth. Whatever numbers you are assuming, don't go more than 6% per year on an average to keep the expectations more realistic. This setup, it empowers families, especially entrepreneurs or small business owners in places like Vancouver, Toronto, Brampton, Mississauga, where cash flow can be unpredictable. And RESP isn't just savings, it's a way to build generational wealth in a tax smart way. To make this real, let's look at some examples drawing from what clients share with us here at Vice Economy. These stories highlight the worries and how RESPs addresses them. First, consider a family in Toronto. Let's meet Sarah and Mike, a couple in their 30s with a newborn. They are worried about Ontario's high living costs, where rent is about $2,500 a month. They pay about $800 in groceries. How do we save for university when we are just getting by? That's the question that they ask. They start an RESP with $100 a month at a 6% annual growth. After 18 years, they could grow the money to about $40,000 plus $7,200 in the CESG grants. The assumptions are consistent contributions. There should be no early withdrawals. This eases their pain by turning small habits into big results. Let's talk about another scenario. A newcomer family in Alberta. Raj, a single dad who moved from India 2 years ago, runs a small trucking business in Edmonton. His pain point: unfamiliarity. He doesn't know the CRA rules and he has the fear of penalties. What if I mess up the contributions? So we guide him to open a family RESP for two kids. He contributes $1,000 yearly per child, getting $200 in CESG each over 15 years. Even at 5% growth, it could reach $25,000 per child. This builds confidence, turning his business income into education security. These examples show RESPs work for different incomes and provinces, but the common thread is starting early to let them do the heavy lifting. With the basics covered now, let's move to practical tools. Think of this as your toolkit chapter. First, setting it up. Choose a provider. Choose banks for simplicity or brokers for more and better investment options. You will need your child's SIN number and your ID. Decide on individual or family plans. Individual if you have one child, and family plan if you have multiple kids or you plan to have more. For the contribution strategy, aim for $2,500 yearly per child to maximize the CEST. If you miss years, catch up. Catch up to $5,000 per year. Use automatic transfers to make it effortless. For the investment framework, diversify conservatively. For young kids, you can mix stocks and bonds for growth. Shift it to safer as they near age 18, but never chase returns. Stick to 6-7% for an average for a much safer projections. And you can use the tools like majority of the institutions that you will open the RESP with. They will give you their own apps, and you are able to track the grants via their app as well, or you can track it through your MyCRA portal. No plan is foolproof without knowing the pitfalls. Many Canadians trip up here based on client stories. Mistake number one: they delay the start. Time is your best friend. With compound growth at about 5 to 6%, starting at birth versus age 8 or 10 can double the funds. Mistake number two: over contributing without grants. Maximize the CESG first before extra. Don't leave free money on the table. Mistake number 3, withdrawing wrong. If you're not withdrawing for education, you have to repay the grants and pay tax penalties. Plan for what if by using the family plans or seek advice from a professional. Newcomers often miss the income-based grants like the Canada Learning Bond because they never open the RES, and the business owners forget to deduct contributions from taxable income. Avoid these and your RESP becomes a smooth ride. Here's the climax. The insight I promised earlier that could change how you view education savings. Most Canadians see RESPs as just a kid's college fund, but the real power lies in its flexibility for lifelong learning and family wealth transfer. What if your child pursues a trade instead of a university? RESP funds will cover that, and even the international programs. What if they skip school? You can transfer it to your RRSP up to $50,000 without any penalties. The government takes back the grants and you can keep the 100% of your contributions tax-free. This turns it into a multi-purpose tool, not a rigid box. Treat RESP as a family legacy account in Canada. With our aging population, this insight means preparing not just for tuition, but for the adaptability in a changing job market. Clients tell us this realization lifts a huge weight. Suddenly, it's not what if they don't go, but how can this fund dreams? At 6% growth, a 36,000 contribution over 18 years with maximum CEST eligible could hit $72,000, doubling your money at a very conservative rate. That's the hidden gem. Government partnership plus time equals the empowerment. Now, wrapping up, we have now got a full picture of RESPs from the basics to strategies, mistakes to big insights. It's a Canadian tool that levels the playing field, helping families build secure futures amid the rising costs. So to act, step number 1, assess your budget. Start with $50 a month if needed. Step 2, open an account this week. Step number 3, set auto contributions and apply for the grants. Step number 4, review yearly with your professional with the CRA account so that you do not miss on the growth or any of the grants. At end, join the Wise Economy community for more empowerment. Subscribe, like, comment your biggest takeaway, and for deeper dives into business building, watch our other videos. Thank you once again for watching, and I'm Jashandeep. I will see you next time.